all the right answers will be on the second video. There it is. You could check it later if you wanted. And the next one, I didn't quite get it finished. So sometimes my computer freezes and gums up. So the answer to the joke is kids with mumps have a swell time, which is kind of funny if you understand what mumps does to your body. It makes your neck swell up. View. And I'm just finishing this off. That's negative 4 3/8. And I didn't get this finished. Did anybody finish this page and they need to see all the right answers? Some people did. Okay, give me a second because my computer is not working for me. It's so embarrassing when you're at the front, you're doing stuff, and your machine doesn't work right for you. There we go. And that is 3 5/9. Oh, yeah. Those ones are the previous page. Just those ones? Okay. Yeah. They are recorded. How far down does it go? It goes down to 10, doesn't it? There. You can give me a moment and I can work these out very quickly. That is 27 and 5 is 33/9 times 9 over 32, cancel. So it is negative 33 over 32, which is 1 1/32. Wait a minute. 9 episodes 33 times negative 9, 33 over 32. Yeah. And then this one is 21 and 4 is 25 over 7 negative times 8 over negative 5. They cancel. The negatives cancel. That's 5. 40 over 7, which is 5 and 5 and 1/8. That is 8 7/10 minus 4 is 4. 7/10 minus a quarter is that is 4 9/20. And this one is negative 2/3 times 7/5 times 7 and 5 is 12/7. I can get rid of all the negatives because I have negative times a negative. So that is 2 times 7 is 14. That is going to be negative 14 over 15 times 12 over 7. Cancel there. 3 goes in that 4 times, goes in that 5 times, 7 goes into that twice, that goes into that once. Hey, 8/5. Everyone, this is Mr. Weeb, your lovely and talented principal for summer school. Please pay him the utmost attention.
I'm just here to say hello.
Oh, okay.
And check with you and make sure everything's okay.
Top drawer.
Awesome.
Full class, everybody's here.
Great. Have a good class, everybody.
And this one is, of course, 47 over 11 times 11 over 47. Cancel, and it is 1, which is right there. So the final answer ends up being IW. Because 1 gorilla, 2 gorillas, and they're doubled in weight. Those jokes suck. But I have other puzzle sheets that have really, really funny jokes. So don't be like, I'm not going to find the joke on later ones because they're actually funny. These ones are really bad. But they have lots of fractions. So that's why I did it. Everybody cool? Remember, I only ask that you are okay with fractions right now. A little bit. We'll practice a lot as we go forward. Cool? Cool. Turn your page over to Page 199. Converting within systems. So what we are doing is we are taking an SI measurement and converting it to a different SI measurement, or we are taking an imperial measurement and converting it to another imperial measurement. So miles to yards, feet to inches, centimeters to meters, meters to kilometers. Everybody cool? Now the problem with this is everybody wants to know shortcuts because there's something you can do with the green one that you can't do with the brown one. But there's a way that works for both of them. And that's the way we should learn. You're going to use that in Chemistry 11. You're going to use it in Biology 11. You're going to use it in Physics 11. You're going to use it in life. You're going to use it anytime you have to change money from one country to another. It's a very powerful tool. And it is unit conversion. And all it means is I'm changing the units. Units is what we measure in. So centimeters to meters, feet to inches. I'm just changing the unit part of it. Everybody cool? And it's super easy to do. Here is all the equalities you need to work with. You do not have to memorize these. Okay? Before your test, I will give you all of these conversions. So you never have to have it memorized. Okay? By the time we're done practicing, you won't look at the sheet. You'll remember them, but you don't need to memorize it. Everybody good? And this is very, very easy to do. In this blank white space here, I'm going to show you how to do it. You only need to see it once because it's super easy. You make an equation, and this works for everything. The equation is as follows. The value to convert. So whatever you were starting with is on the left. Always multiplies by the following fraction. What you want divided by what you have. That is all you do. You will see how it works in literally 1 second. Well, not literally 1 second. Figuratively 1 second. It's going to take me longer to make this joke than it will to get down there. But if you can make this fraction, you will always be good. So this question has asked me to convert centimeters to meters. What is the value that I have? What is the value that I know from the question? I know 485 centimeters. That is the value to convert. Everybody sees that, right? I'm going to use 3 different colors to make this easy for us. What you want over what you have. Okay, so then I'm going to multiply by this fraction. What do I want? After I do this question, what is the unit that I want? Meters. So I need to put meters on the top of this fraction, right? What do I have? What am I starting with? I have centimeters. Now I just need some numbers. Where do I get these numbers? From the chart. 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. Well, there's a meter, so what number goes with that? 1. Centimeters. Well, there's centimeters, so what number goes with that? 100. And then all I do is the math. I have centimeters on the top, I have centimeters on the bottom. What happens when you have something the same on the top of a fraction and the same on the bottom of a fraction? They cancel out. What's 485 times 1? 485 over. What is, this is over 1, isn't it? What is 1 times 100? What math is that? Division. When I divide by 100, what do I do with that decimal place? Move it over how many spots? 1 for 100? 2. 4.85. I should have started closer to the left. Everybody see how easy it is? And that will convert anything to anything else. I need to go to America and get money. Well, I have some Canadian money, $20. I want some American money. So I go online, I find out how much a dollar is worth, and I do that. I want American, so 1 US dollar equals, it's about 1.29 Canadian dollars. So I do 20 divided by 1.29. Everybody see how it works? That's all you do to convert anything to anything. What happened to the 1 in both cases? We ended up getting rid of it, didn't we? The 485 ended up over 100, right? So let's do the number 2, 1 together. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3 together. Then I'm going to make you do 4, 5, and 6. What do I have in number 2? I have 57 inches, yes? I'm going to write out inches because that'll make it easier. Times, what do I want? I want feet over what do I have? Inches. Where do I get the numbers? From the chart. When you look on the chart, you see feet and inches. Where's the 1? It's with feet. Where's the inches? It's with 12. Right? What do I do now to the 1? What did I do to the 1 here? It disappears. What do I do to the 2 inches? They disappear. What am I left with? 57 over 12. Right? Now, how many of you right now want to go to your calculator and do 57 divided by 12? Be honest. You all want to do that, right? Do that with your calculator. What number do you get? $4.75. Agreed? And that makes sense. 12 goes into 57 4 times to get 48. And that leaves us with 9/12 left over, right? And 9/12 is 4.75. Here's the problem. Feet and inches. Do we use decimals for feet and inches? Do we? It's a yes or no question, people. Do we use decimals for feet and inches? How tall are you? Everybody say their height at once. Go. Say your height. None of you know how tall you are? Don't be wusses. Say your height. I'm 5'8". Now don't laugh. I know I'm short and fat. You can't tell me that. I already know. It's not an insult. How tall are you? Sayash, how tall are you? 6'1", right? Well, that's 6.08 feet, isn't it? Who says that? I'm 5'8". Did I say I'm 5.67 feet tall? What do I say? What do I say? Feet and inches, right? So I can't use 4.75 here, so you can't use your calculator. It is 4 feet and then 9 out of 12. So that 9 out of 12 becomes 4 feet 9 inches. Do not use decimals in imperial. It is the fraction of the next thing. Does everybody understand what I am saying? 4 feet and 9/12 of a foot is 4.4 feet 9 inches. It is not 4.9 feet. Does everybody understand? All right. Let's do this next one. Yards to feet. What am I starting with? 15 yards. What do I want? Feet. So feet on the top. Yards on the bottom. Where do I get those numbers? From the chart. When I find the line that has feet and yards, where does the 1 go? With the yards or with the feet? Look on the chart. Oops. Where does the 1 go? With the yards or with the feet? The yards. So, where does the 1 go here? Is it blue or red? Blue. And the feet goes there. What do I do with yard and yard? Cancel. What do I do with the 1? I've done it twice now. What happens to the 1? It cancels out as well. What's left? 15 times 3, which is what answer? 45 feet. Does everybody see how it works? It's super easy, right? And it works for everything. You're in the store, you're trying to decide if you want to buy the giant block of cheese or the little block of cheese, or 3 of the little blocks of cheese. Maybe that's cheaper than buying 1 giant block of cheese. This is how you figure it out. It's got real life application. We use it all the time. So you're going to do these 3. Set them up. Tell me what the answer is. Remember, what does one little tick mean? Feet or yard, or feet or inches? That is feet. Right there. What are 2 little ticks? Inches. And what's weird about number 6? I used a decimal in imperial, didn't I? Does that change the work that you do? No. But we're going to do something weird with 6 when you're done. So set them up properly. I'll set them up right now. It will still be recording even though you can't see it. You'll see me writing if you were to watch the video. Man, excuse me everyone. My daughter is calling, which means I need to answer. Sorry, everybody. There is the work. I have highlighted 2 things there. Why? Why would I highlight that one? What's weird about that one? What bothers you when I write 45 1/3 of a yard? The fraction is stupid, right? We don't like fractions. What is 1/3 of a yard? 1 foot. So this you could also write as 45 yards, 1 foot. Both would be acceptable. Would you write 45.33333333? You should not. Everybody understand? No need to highlight 168. It worked out perfectly. Why would I highlight that one? You're probably not going to get what I'm going for here. I highlighted number 6 because that's a stupid math class question, isn't it? If you had to go 4 miles away, would you say, I'm going 22,000 feet? Would you? No, it's idiotic, isn't it? I live 30 kilometers from here. Do I say, I live 30,000 meters away from here? No, it's dumb. That's just a math class question that I put in there to mess with you. Not even mess with you, just to show you that it works no matter what. Everybody see? It's easy fraction, right? All you do is cross out the ones, cross out the repeated unit, inch and inch, mile and mile, and you're left with what you got to multiply. If they're both on top, we multiply. If one's on the bottom, we divide. Easy peasy, right? No problem at all. So, 7, 8, 9, 10, do not do the work. Just tell me what the fraction is. Don't bother getting out your calculator. Just tell me what the fraction is. It should not take very long. I'm not going to use the colors anymore because everybody's seen it a bit, right? So just set it up. These 3 are math class questions, right? They're not a real life conversion you would ever make. And we're not going to find the right answer because it's dumb. I just want you to set it up. The last one is hard. If you don't get number 10, that's cool. But all the rest of them you should be able to set up. There they are. All of you should have been able to set up. This is what you would have punched into your calculator every time. Number 10 is the hardest one. Why? Because it's a stupid math class question, right? You would never convert millimeters to kilometers, would you? That's dumb. But it works the other way around, too. Like if you're in biology and you're doing something that's microscopic, you got to go lower than millimeters, don't you? So it works the other way too. Is everybody cool? Now that's the basics. Now we need to apply it. Sometimes we have to mix it up a little. All right? So let's have a look at this next question. I need to know the inches in this plank. Well, do I already know some of the inches? So do I care about that 4? No, I only care about the 6 feet. So how do I do 6 feet to inches? What would my fraction look like? Some of you don't even need the fraction anymore already. What would the fraction look like? I want inches, yes? So it's going to be inches over feet. Where's the 12 go? 12 goes with inches, 1 goes with feet. I automatically cancel the feet, and I automatically cancel the 1, and I'm left with 6 times 12. If you know your 12 times table, you don't even need to go to your calculator. What is it? 72. But what do I got to remember right there? Add the 4. Everybody with me? It's easy peasy, right? It's the same thing we've done all the way along, but we've got to add in if there might be a little extra. Is number 12 a sensible question? I'm doing this on purpose. Is number 12 a sensible question? No, because you would never give that room in inches. But it allows us to practice our conversion. I got to convert what to what? I got to go yards to inches, and then what? Feet to inches, and then what? Add them. Easy peasy. How do I do yards to inches? What's the factor of change? 5 times, I want inches, 36 over 1. I only need the numbers, don't I? What do I do with the 1? Gone. 5 times 36. You can use your calculator for it, or maybe you're good with your times tables. It's 180. Feet to inches. 2 times, I want inches, 12 over 1. What's 2 times 12? 24. What do I do with them? I add them up. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All you got to remember is what you want over what you have. Number 13 is a tricky question. I want everybody to try it and give me an answer. In case you're stuck a little to how to start, I highlighted 2 things that are important to this question. So what do I got to do with yards before I know how many inches I can get out of it? Because I can't cut yards up into strips inches wide if I don't know how, what? Right. So I got to get yards to inches. We've already done that. What am I multiplying by? 36. Get 216 inches. Now, what am I doing to that 216 inches? I'm cutting it up. What math cuts something up? Division. There's only four kinds of math to do. Add, subtract, multiply, and divide. It's always one of those four. Now here's where we get into trouble. What's the answer to that question? When you go to your calculator, what is the answer? 43.2. How many banners can I make? 43. But what about that? Why am I throwing out that decimal in this question? I can't make 0.2 of a banner, right? What if I had 219 inches divided by 5? What would my answer be? It would be 43.8, right? How many banners can I make? 43. But doesn't 0.8 round up? I know, but I'm going to give you questions like this on your test, and you're all going to tell me you're going to round up because your calculator is going to say 43.8, and you're going to say 44. Don't do that. Everybody cool? In reality, this rounds up to 44. In this question, does it? No. So you have to still know what you're doing in real life, even though you know what you're doing in math. Might be something different. How many different ways could I do 14? What is one way I could do it? What should I do to 2? Or I could do something to 755. Why do I have to do something at all? Why can't I just do this question? What's wrong here? They're two different units. I can't compare them. It's apples and oranges. So I either have to go kilometers to meters, or I have to go meters to kilometers. Is there a right way to do it? No. Would I accept both answers? Could you do something really stupid and give me the answer in millimeters? Make it a gigantic number. Would I have to accept it? Would I give you full marks for it? Yeah. But it's lame, right? So it's either 2,000 minus 755 or 2 minus 0.755. Which one of those is meters, red or blue? Red is meters, which is kilometers. Blue. So what's the answer? Well, it's either 1245 meters or 1.245 kilometers, right? But could you be a clown and tell me it was 124,500 centimeters? Would that be allowed? Would I give you full marks? Would I think you were being a wise ass? Oh yeah, I would. But would I reward you for being a wise ass? Oh yeah, I would. I'm a wise ass. Why wouldn't you be? Could you be really fun and tell me it was 1,245,000 millimeters? Could you do that? Sure you could. Could you make it 12,450,000 micrometers? Could you make it 124,500,000? What's below micro? Nanometers? And then picometers? I don't know what's below pico. I know there's something below pico. I just can't remember what it is. That's why the metric system works, because everything is good. So you had a problem there, because you had a choice of conversion, and some of you will make the wrong choice. What did I do in number 15 to make it easier for you? How do I want it answered? In km. That was supposed to be a highlighter. So, do I have to do anything to that? Yes or no? No. Do I have to do something to that? What do I do to get from meters to kilometers? You should be able to set that up like right away now. I want km, so it's 1 km on the top, and what's on the bottom? A 1,000. Where does the 125 go? Does it go for the 1 or does it go for the 1,000? It's 125 meters, isn't it? So the meters cancel and the 125 goes in for the 1. 125 over 1,000. You should be able to do that in your head. How many times does the decimal move for 1,000? 3. So 0.125. So what have I got? I got 1.35 plus 0.125. What do I do with 40 centimeters to get it to kilometers? What do I have to pass through? I got to go 40 centimeters and I got to get up to km. What's in the middle? Millimeters? What's in the middle between centimeters and kilometers? Meters. 40 centimeters to meters is what? Multiply or divide? You want meters, so where's the centimeters? Up or down? Down. There's the 100. There's the 1. Where does the 40 go? For the 1 or for the 100? For the 1. So it's 40 over 100. Now I want to get to kilometers. Right? So, what happens? I want km. What have I got? What did I just find here? Centimeters cancels. What did I just find? Meters. So down here is my meters, right? 1 over 1,000. So now I got 40 over 1,000. How many decimals does it move? 3. So I had 40 and I move it 3. 1, 2, 3. 0.0, 0, point. I had 0.4 and it moves 1, 2, 3 because it was 0.4 of a meter, right? 40 centimeters equals 0.4 of a meter. Move the decimal 1, 2, 3, and what fills in the holes? Zeros. And then I just add it up. Everybody cool? Let's try one last one, and then I'm going to shut up and let you do 1, 2, 3 more questions on your own. I want the answer in yards. Do I have to change yellow, green, or blue? What has to change? Yellow and blue. So I need miles to yards. And what else do I need? inches to yards. You know, you have said everything right. So has she. Say it out loud. Get credit. And at the end of the year, when you come to me and say, hey, Myers, I got a B, but I want an A. Understand? Okay. How do I do miles to yards? 4 miles. What's the fraction going to look like? Check your chart. $17.60 over 1. And the 1 disappears, right? So I got 4 times $17.60 plus how many yards from the green? 12. And then how do I do this one? Inches to yards. I got 13 inches. And what do I want? 1 yard over 36 inches. Plus 13 over 36. Which gets me what? Do your calculating first. 7,040 plus 12 plus. Why is this a problem? What do you want to do immediately as soon as you see this? What do you want to do? You want to make a decimal. Are we allowed decimals here? Can I do this part in my head? What's that? $40 plus 12. 7,052. 13 out of 36. I can't use a decimal. It's 13 whats? What did I just convert here? 13 whats? Inches. Well, 13 inches. How many? What do I know about inches? 12 of them is 1 foot, right? So I have 7,052 feet, or inches. No, I wanted it in yards, didn't I? Yeah, 7,052 yards. 1 foot, because that covers 12 of them. What's left? 1 inch. That is the best possible answer you could give me. Would I give you almost full marks? Or would I give you full marks for 7,052 and 13/36? Would I give you full marks for that? You've known me for a couple hours. Is that the right answer? Same value, isn't it? So would you get full marks there? Let's say 2 kids give me these 2 answers. Which one gets a better grade on the test? Green box or that box? Or let's give the yellow box. Green or yellow box, who do I give a better grade to? Or do they both get the same? Okay. What if this kid had 73% on the test, which is a C+, and this kid had 73% on the test? And both of them came to me and said, Mr. Myers, I want a B. Who gets the B? The green box or the... Oh, 73 is a B. Sorry. They both have 72. And they both come to me and say, Mr. Myers, I want a B. Who gets the B? Who do I bump up? Green box or yellow box? Who did more math? Green box. Does everybody understand the difference here? You're both getting the 72%, but every single one of you wants a bump up at some point, right? How do you earn those bump ups in a math class? By doing more math. Everybody understand? Okay. All right, you are going to do page 201 and 202. And that is going to take you through until your break. 12:05. You will see the right answers when you get back. Three, 5. But I want inches. 36, 60. 36, 60, which is 96 plus 96, which is 192. Would it change if I told you the frame was 1 inch thick? Of course it will, because the frame is now 1 inch thick, which means there's my picture. The frame is now out here. The picture is 60, but there's this extra 1 and this extra 1. This is 36, but there's this extra 1 and this extra 1. So now I need 62 plus 38, which is 100 to cover this side and this side. And then I need another 100 to cover this side and this side, so it would be 200. Okay. Again, all we did was add and subtract. The math was easy. Visualizing it is more difficult. And I have something that when we get to our first test, I have a way that I like to mark you people that gives credit if you get the drawing right, but doesn't take away credit if you get the drawing wrong. Do you understand what I am saying? A question like this on the test, like this one, number 18, I would say draw it, and then I would come around and I would check. And if you drew it right, I would give you a mark. If you drew it wrong, I would give you the right drawing and say, now do the math. And you would get marked on the math. So the person that did the drawing right might get a bonus mark. But if you did the drawing wrong, you wouldn't lose marks. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Because I know that all of you can do this math, but drawing it was the problem, right? And they are different skills. Everybody understand? This is not art class. This is math class. Everybody cool? You'll see what I mean when we get to our first test. My room is 185 by 240 inches. 240 inches, 185 inches. So, how long is this side? 240. How long is this side? 185. So I need 480 plus 370 to get a total of 850 inches of crown molding, yes? Maybe you did it differently, but you should end up at 850. But the stuff is sold by the foot. So what do I have to do with this? Divide by 12. 850 divided by 12 is 70.8 feet. It's sold by the foot. How much do I have to buy? Can I buy 0.8 of a foot? I have to buy 71 feet. Would I be smart to buy exactly 71 feet? Why not? What if I mess up? Right? So this question really has 3 layers, doesn't it? There's the converting to feet. There's how much you would buy or how much you could buy. And then there's, in real life, how much you would buy. Does everybody understand? Now, what if you told me 71, but I'd buy some extra in case I screwed up? Is it worth more? Or is it worth less? Or what? Do I give you some credit for recognizing the real life situation? Do I? Or is this one of those situations where one kid gets 72, the other kid wants a B, and actually gave me an explanation? Everybody understand what's going on? Okay. And finally, the yard. The shed is 8 by 12. Perimeter. That's all the way around, right? So that's 8, that's 12, it's 20. I lie, it's 40 feet. Because you got to go all the way around, right? 2 walls are 20, but there's 4 walls. We don't live in television. There's my yard cut into 3, right? Here's the shed. The shed is 8 by 12, which is 96. If this section is 96, how big is this one? This is 96 and 96, which is 192 feet squared. That's how much is grass. I'll color it green. Grass is sold in a roll, a rectangle, that rolls out to be 5 feet by 1 feet. 1 foot. So this is 5 feet squared, yes? I have 192 feet squared to cover. What math do I do? I do 192 divided by 5 to get 38.4. Can I buy 38 rolls of sod? I can, but what will that mean for my yard? That's what it means for my yard. Will Mrs. Myers be happy with me if I leave a corner of the yard dirty? No. Although I should leave a corner of the yard with dirt in it because my idiot dog has to poo back there. And my kids, oh, we'll get a dog, we'll clean up after him. All of you, how many of you have dogs? How many of you have your parents do all the work for your dog? Leave your hand up. How many of you told your parents you would do some of the work for the dog? Leave your hand up. Anyways, how many rolls do I really need to buy? 39. I got to round up. I need that 39th roll. So this is 39 times what? 2.75. 39 times 2.75. 107.25. Everybody cool? Now listen. When you go to the next page in your book, you see that I have a bunch more practice there for you. Listen to me. Summer school is on a tight time frame. If you honestly understand everything we've done so far, you've gotten close to the right answer, do you think you need to do all of this work? No. But what if you need a little extra practice? Yeah. Should you do all of it? No need. Tomorrow morning, even though we'll already have had a quiz on it, tomorrow morning I will show you all these right answers. I'll just have them there for you. Because this came from my regular year's work, right? When I have more time. If everyone's cool, don't do any of it. If you want to do a few of them, you can check your answers tomorrow. Everybody good? All right. Turn the page over, please, to what is for you people 205. Please notice, again, we are converting, which means if we're converting, we're still using that fraction, right? That we just used 1,000 times. It is the same thing. It is the value we convert times what we want over what we have. Except now I'm going between systems. So I'm going to have an imperial value that I am moving to SI, or I have an SI value that I am moving to imperial. Everybody cool? But nothing else changes. All right? And this is actually a really important thing. It made a giant difference. You all remember when Target came to Canada? And you all remember that Target disappeared from Canada? Did any of you ever shop at Target? I don't know about your Target, but my Target in Chilliwack always had empty shelves. Did yours? You know why they had empty shelves? They forgot about doing this. They didn't convert, because Target's what kind of company? Well, they're American. They did everything in imperial. When they're shipping in Canada, it's in what? Metric. They didn't do the math right, so they would ship the wrong amount of stuff. Somebody there didn't take grade 10 math with me. Dumbasses. So, nothing changes. A bowling lane is 19 meters long. I want that in feet. So what is the value that I have? I have 19 meters. And what is the value that I want? Feet over what do I have? Meters. Where do I get these numbers? From the chart. Go back to your chart. And where do you find feet and meters? Now, I think there might be a misprint here. Do you people have that line with feet and meters? You do? Okay. So what number goes with feet and what number goes with meters? It is, the chart says 1 foot equals 0.3048 meters. Where does the 1 go? With the feet. Where does the 0.3048 go? 0.3048. What disappears? The foot. The meters. And what number disappears? The 1. Leaving me with 19 over 0.3048. Now, we were able to do a lot of our conversions within the system in our heads, weren't we? Because we were just moving decimals, multiplying by 12, whatever. Can we do this in our heads? No, we got to go to our calculators. But we should have an idea of what the answer is going to be, yes? If I have 19 and I am dividing by a decimal, is the number going to get bigger or smaller? Don't go to your calculator yet. Is it going to get bigger or smaller? If I divide by a decimal, it's going to get bigger because meters are bigger than feet, aren't they? Right? So meters must be the smaller number. So when you do this on your calculator, you end up with something like 65 feet. But I don't really remember exactly. Somebody must have done this by now. 19 divided by 0.3048. 62? Okay. Nearest foot, 62 feet. Does everybody understand? Did anything change? Did we do any math differently? No. We're just getting the chart numbers from a different spot on that chart. Do you have to have that chart memorized? No, because you're going to get it always. So, question 2. Hannah drove 62 miles. Farron drove 98 kilometers. Hannah's American, Farron's Canadian. Who drove further? Do I have to convert one or both to answer that question? Just one. Does it matter which one I convert? No. So, if I was converting Hannah in blue, I'm going to go miles to km, right? If I was converting Farron in red, I would go km to miles. Does the math change? No, we're going to end up multiplying or dividing something. The only thing that changes is what it looks like before we do it, right? So miles to k, 62 times, I want km over miles. Here, 98, I'll put it over here. 98 times, this one I want miles over km. You guys put the numbers in. Find them on your chart, write it in. Don't go to your calculator yet. Set it up first, because if you set it up every time, you can't do it wrong. If you actually write it out, it's impossible to do wrong. Where does the 1 go here? With miles or K? Once we go to our chart. 1 mile is 1.609 K, right? I get rid of the 1, I get rid of the miles. What's left? 62 times 1.609. Now, 1.6, that's bigger than 1, right? So if I'm multiplying by bigger than 1, is this answer going to get bigger or smaller from 62? Bigger. Let's go over to this one in red. The 1 goes here. The 1.609 goes here. We get rid of the 1. What's left? 98 over 1.609. Then I'm dividing. Now, you've made your choice. Do your calculation. Tell me who drove further. Because that's what answers the question. Who drove further, Hannah or Farron? Hannah. Everybody cool? Do I care how you do it? But you got to make that decision, right? Alex, 6 feet 2 inches tall. When you go to get your driver's license, how many of you have gone to get your license? Your L. And they ask you your height. What do you tell them? In feet and inches, right? And then what do? They look down on a little chart right beside them and they change it over to centimeters, right? I teach math. I know my height in centimeters. I know it on purpose because I teach math. So when I went to get my last license, I told them my height in centimeters, right? It says 173 centimeters. And the woman went down to the chart and go, hey. And I was like, ha, 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 ha. And then she said, what's your weight? And I know my weight in kilograms. She, hey. And then she says, okay, I guess I'll just fill the rest of this. Hair color, and she put brown. Because my last license, I still had brown hair. Then I said, hey. And she was like, oh, yeah, gray. I was okay with it because, I'm old. But it happened fast. If you look at my pictures back there, you see how fast my hair went gray. It's crazy. It's all your people's fault. I used to have nice, thick head of whole head of brown hair. All the way back to when I was 14. That's in the white shirt. I'm 14. Want to see something even funnier? Just because I got time to kill? So back to this. How do I convert this? What do I got to convert when I have feet and inches if I want centimeters? This is a tricky question. Could I go feet to inches plus 2 and then to centimeters? Would that work? Yeah. I could do that, couldn't I? Right? Could I do this? 6 and 2 out of 12, get that decimal as feet, and then go feet to inches to centimeters. Would that work? Do I care how you do it? Of course not. So I would go 74 inches, because I can do that in my head, because I know that's 6 times 12 plus 2. Then I would go to centimeters. Inches what I want centimeters. I have inches. Where does the 1 go? Look on your chart. Where does the 1 go? You'll notice the 1 always goes with the bigger number, right? 1 went with miles because miles are bigger than kilometers. What's bigger, a centimeter or an inch? Inch, so the 1 goes there and the 2.54 goes there. What do I do with the 1? Get rid of it. If I write it out, is it possible to do it wrong? No, because what's left? 74 times 2.54, and I get my answer. Everybody cool? All right, I would like to shut up and let you practice this a little. When you get to page 206, you are going to see I want an answer in days, hours, and minutes. You will also see on your chart there is no conversion for days to hours to minutes, because I expect you to know that, right? See if you can apply it. Now, just like the last question, there's extra practice on page 207. You are going to start your quiz at 1. It is 12 multiple choice questions. You are going to start that quiz at 1:05. That gives you 20 minutes to answer 12 multiple choice questions that have a maximum of 1 calculation. That's a lot of time. Everybody cool? When will you see these right answers? In 15 minutes. At 20 minutes. At 12:57. I will show you the correct answers to everything that I am making you do. So the rest of 205 and all of 206. And then we will have our quiz. Is everybody cool? Yeah? Go. Work with each other. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to start putting the right answers up now so you can check your work. I'll let you do a little bit of work first, then I'll put the right answers up. Everybody good?
Can I just go to the washroom really quick?
Yep. So let me finish writing the key.
Okay. first one, would it just be 80 or would it
Exactly. 80.
Okay.
80 is fine.
When do we know not to like put these decimal numbers? Just like looking at the measurement, or
Not really. I mean, 2 decimal places is fine.
so for any question?
Yeah, just it doesn't really matter because this, and I'm about to talk about this, Sahaj. This is the important part to me
Okay, then
because that's the math,
Yeah.
right? How you round isn't a math class. Like that's just I'm going to round to 1 decimal. Parm's going to round to 5 decimals. You both did the math right, right?
Okay.
So I don't get too hung up on decimals.
Okay.
I get more hung up on the side that gets you to the decimals.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Just give me 1 sec, and I'm going to put all the right answers up. Everything highlighted, once the screen lights up, is what you would have to punch into your calculator, okay? It is 12:44. I would like to give you a maybe till 12:48 to try a few more of these, but you might be worried if you're doing them wrong. So there it is. Everything in blue is what you would punch into your calculator. You set it up on the left, and then the calculator work is what's in blue. Now there's a couple of things I did weirdly here. Why was I allowed to make that 12.5 when it's, even though it's imperial, I used a decimal? Why is that okay? Isn't 6 inches half a foot? So 12.5. Does everybody see? Why was I allowed to put 14 meters, 28 centimeters to 14.28 meters? Because a centimeter is 1/100th of a meter, right? So I'm allowed to go 14.28 meters, so I only have to make one conversion. Everybody cool? You're allowed to do that. And then these are the numbers you punch in. Now, Sahaj asked me the question, well, what about when I do this very first one, and I get my calculator out, and I do 50 times 1.609. And I get 80.45. Sahaj says, well, when do I put those decimals in? What do you think is important to me? The fact that you did the right calculation or where you round off to? Which is more important to me as the math teacher? The calculation. Because if this is your answer, you could say 80. You could say 80.5, because doesn't 4.5 round up to 80.5? Or you could say 80.45. Are those all the right answer? Right? So I don't care. Don't worry about the decimals. The only time it matters is in those real life questions. Right? How many cans of pop can you buy? 18.2. No, you cannot buy a 0.2 of a can of pop. You cannot go into Safeway and say, drink. Here, I'd like some of my money back, please. Right? Well, you can't go into Safeway at all in Abbotsford anymore, can you? Is that Safeway still a Safeway, or is it a Freshco yet? It's still open? So you can. Everybody understand? So don't get too hung up on that how many decimal places do you want thing. Okay? Show me the work, and if you've done the work right, I'm giving you full credit. Right? Concepts are more important than numbers. I'll leave that up for a couple of moments. You still have, what did I say? I'm giving you the quiz at 12 or at 1:05. You still got 15 minutes to figure this, 17 minutes to figure out this page and the driving question. Oh, I'm going to add something to the driving question. So I'd like, when you get to that driving question, to answer this question as well. And we will be going over that in 11 minutes. Okay? Question to change miles to kilometers? Of course not. What do I do? Times what's the fraction? 1.609. I don't even need the denominator, do I? What's the answer? Let's round that up. What do I do with that number to find out how long it took me to drive? Divided by 60? That's a distance. I drove 85 kilometers in 1 hour. Right? I divide it by 85. To get what? To get 222 hours. And let's go with 2 decimal places. Fine. 33 hours. Agreed? We don't say our time in that, do we? If you go somewhere for more than 24 hours, what do you say? What do you say? For more than 24 hours, you go right to days. If you go somewhere for more than 7 days, what do you say? Weeks. So we know how time works, right? So how do I turn these hours into days? "24 hours is how many days?" 1. How did you do that? We just spent like 3 days doing this. 24 hours. And I want that in days. So what's the conversion? Where does the 1 go? With days or hours? What's a bigger number? Or what's the bigger amount of time? Days. So days gets the 1. Where does the 24 go? Right there. So I divide hours by 24 to get days. So what do I do with this to get days? I divide it by 24. 222.32 times 1 day, because I want days, over 24 hours. And that gets me 9.26 days. So how many days did I drive? 9. I drove 9 days. But I've got this left over, don't I? 0.26 days. And now I need hours. How do I transfer days to hours? What do I want? I want hours first. So I have days. What do I want now? Where?
You wanted the 32, 33, but when you went the second time, it showed 32. 222.32.
It doesn't matter. I use the same number on my calculator. There you go. So, how do I go days to hours? What's my new fraction going to be? What do I have? Days. What do I want? Hours. 124. So what do I do with the 0.26 and the 24 to find hours? What do I do? What do I do? Multiply to get 6.24 hours. So how many hours did I drive? 6 hours. What's left? 0.24 of an hour. What do I need now? Minutes. So I want minutes and I have hours. Where does the 1 go? With the hours or the minutes? With the hours, because an hour is a bigger amount of time. 60. What math do I do there? $14 minutes. And then there's another decimal. I could go to seconds if I wanted to, right? But that's stupid. 9 days, 6 hours, and 14 minutes, and 25 seconds. That doesn't matter. So, if I drove for 9 days, 6 hours, and 14 minutes, I left on August 3rd at 9:30. When did I get home? You have to estimate, because you don't know exactly, because I only gave you my average speed. When did I get home? I need a reasonable answer. I left on my trip on August 3rd. Madeline says I got home on August 12th. Anybody got a different answer? So we've got August 12th with a time of 3:15. Okay. Are those reasonable answers? They are? So I drove for 9 days, 6 hours, and 14 minutes without stopping for food or sleep. Yes or no? So are those reasonable answers? See what I mean? Was the math easy? What math did I do? I multiplied or divided, right? Was the math easy? Was the answer hard? Because what did you want to do right away? Without thinking about the way the real world works. Just like the framing question, right? The frame's 192 inches. Doesn't matter how big it is, it's 192 inches. Everybody understand? All right, here's what's going to happen. It's 1:04. I've got enough time to say this, then we're going to do the quiz. You're going to write the quiz. You're going to put your name on it. We are going to mark it in class. You're going to hand it to somebody else. We're going to mark it. You're going to write right on the quiz who marked your quiz. Then you're going to hand them back to me, and I'm going to record them, and then I'm going to give them back to you. Okay? You can keep the quizzes from which to study. Everybody understand? All right. Behind me on the screen